So a big debate I've had with some of the OGs in the game is that they were telling me, we were strategy talk, and we
Hmm.
were like, are you going to dump all your bag in the sack phase, or are you going to hold some of it to try to catch a pulse dip? Do you think there is going to be a pulse dip, or do you think what you said, that these big bag holders, they're not going to want to sell it off at such low multipliers? Like, do you think people are going to be happy with the 10x and start dumping? Or do you think everyone understands, because of the history of Ethereum and this being like 10 times better than ETH? Like,
Hmm.
why it doesn't, I don't really
Well,
see the logic unless they need money right away.
well, the thing is, like, it can dump after a 10x, but I don't think it'll dump from what the sackers paid, because you would have to be the person selling it for a loss. You're guaranteeing it's a loss. It's not like you're taking profit, and like, you're just not taking a profit if you sell it and it's at that price I said. So why would it go below that price? So I basically assume Pulse is going to be that price. It's just like Ethereum, that people bought it for 31 cents. It launched at $3. Then it dropped 86%. But guess what? It was still 35 or 40% higher than the people who got into the ICO. So that's how I think Pulse Chain will go, and PulseX even more so, because there are some people, like the free coin getters, they can like, of all the copied coins, they can actually get some of that Pulse for technically free. So they have zero cost basis, right? Those people into those pools, they can purchase the Pulse there with their free coin. They didn't even sacrifice. So technically those guys could be sellers, but I don't think they have enough to push down the price significantly. And any whales or anybody is just foaming at the mouth to get a better deal than a 10,000th of a dollar. Like, that's way too cheap. But for Pulse X, we aren't even tied to any other crypto except for whatever someone creates a pool for. Pulse is going to be tied to literally everything with liquidity. It makes it harder to move, because Ethereum was, and it's just a copy of Ethereum. It's literally tied to every coin. So it has more liquidity, which is harder to move, but it doesn't mean it can't move. It's not like infinite liquidity or something. So in that regard, PulseX is just obvious winner for lower liquidity, which we know is good for price appreciation. It's deflationary. They're both deflationary. Only sacrificers get it. This applies to both. PulseXers also can control the DAO, so they have power to decide which pools get incentivized. And even though we know the OA will potentially have an amount that I don't want to get into, because I figured out something that's a little too much understanding of the system, and so I can't talk about that part. But the OA will probably own a large part of PulseX, and so nothing, because in DAOs, code is kind of law for certain votes. So not all, like, proposals are, some of them are just get community sentiment, but some
Yeah.
of them are actually like they implement new code if the vote is yes or
Yeah.
or no.
And the
And
user
so
holding that token can weigh in with the
yeah,
amount they have.
so like, if someone, say some guy owns, somehow say he gets 60% of the supply, and that's what he needed, or of the available user supply, he could, like, I don't know if there's a way currently, but say he could make a proposal and get it through that was like, delete PulseX or something ridiculous like that. The OA would have enough coins to be like, this vote's not passing, and he would just step in and save that. So it kind of has that ability, which is nice. But that the OA is not going to come in on every single vote. It's just going to stop catastrophic damage, is my opinion.